Hey guys, what's up? It's Darkmek here, and welcome back to another 2-minute tank guide for LFR, Normal and Heroic in Antorus, the Burning Throne. Today we are looking at the Coven of Shivarra, which is a 2-tank fight, and it's very taunt swap heavy, and you need to be paying attention. So it's a council style fight with 2 bosses active at a time, and a 3rd boss inactive casting periodically. There's shared health pools, and the bosses will rotate through as the fight progresses. Now, the bosses you have to deal with are Nara, the Mother of Flames, Asara, the Mother of Night, and Dima, the Mother of Gloom. And you will start off always fighting Asara and Nara. Now, the tank rules are that the bosses must be tanked 18 yards apart. If they're within 18 yards of one another, they take 99% less damage, which is obviously bad. So you want to keep them on one side of the room each. Generally in a line, it just makes your taunt swap mechanics easier, and it makes the raid easier to deal with what they're dealing with. But whatever the raid is set up to do, you will have them spread apart at least 18 yards. Now, to cover off the bosses quickly, guys, Nara needs to be faced away from your raid. She does a frontal cleaving ability called Fiery Strike that will also leave a debuff on you, and this is going to serve as your taunt swap mechanic on Nara. So every 2 stacks of Fiery Strike, you are going to taunt swap with the other tank. Asara is going to send out Shadow Blades towards the raid, and you just need to make sure that you are dodging them if they're coming towards you. Her boss ability is called Storm of Darkness. It's a 15-second channel that deals damage. Now, safe zones in Heroic will appear. They look like giant ice squares, and you need to make sure that as both tanks that you are moving to separate safety zones. So one boss needs to be in each safety zone, pretty much, not the same one. This doesn't occur on normal, it's only on Heroic, so you don't have to worry about that in normal. Dima or Dimmer or Light Dimmer Switch, however you would like to say it, when she joins the fight, Nara will bail out. So when Dimmer's in, or Dima, she has an ability called Flash Freeze, and this is a stacking debuff that slows you by 10% for each debuff you have. You want to swap on 2 to 3 stacks of this, so you've got 2 taunt swap mechanics to be dealing with throughout this, the Fiery Strike from Nara and the Flash Freeze from Dima. So as a tank recap, make sure they're 18 yards apart. Make sure that you're watching your taunt swaps, 2 stacks of Fiery Strike, 2 to 3 stacks of Flash Freeze, and the safety zones on Heroic, make sure you are taking a boss to separate safety zones. They look like giant ice squares for the 15-second channel cast, which is Storm of Darkness from Asara. Now, throughout the fight, there'll also be 4 Titan abilities that you have to deal with, and you don't have to do anything special as the tank. There's a flamethrower one, make sure you're not standing in the middle. If there's adds around the room, move the bosses so the adds can be cleaved down while there's still damage going on to the bosses. And if there's big purple floaty adds that come up, run away from them for 30 seconds. Use your things like leg sweeps, ring of pieces. You can select them and mass grip them, you can stun them. You just want to run through the gaps and make sure you're not being hit for 30 seconds. Then they become active, they've got 1 health each, and they pretty much melt as soon as you hit them or anything touches them, but just make sure you avoid them. And that is pretty much it, guys. Just monitor your taunt swaps. Any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, like, comment, subscribe, and go get them.